Acts chapter 14, and I'm going to be reiterating some things I said on lesson number 1 on the dangerous gospel. Acts chapter 14, I may read a few of those scriptures. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me give you the story about what's going on. Paul and Barnabas was teaching in the church. And the people in the church, some of them were Jews and some of them were not. But the people that were not Jews, they believed the word of God that Paul was preaching. But they had some Jews that were there, they didn't believe the gospel that Paul was preaching. So they made it a little plot and a scheme to get the people to draw Paul and Barnabas out into the street so they could stone them. But the word got back to Paul and Barnabas that the people was planning on stoning them after the church service. So Paul and Barnabas fled and went to another city, but continued to preach the gospel. Now I remind you that Paul was preaching the gospel of Jesus. He wasn't preaching some of that gospel feel-good stuff, like a lot of these churches teaching today. That once you get Jesus, everything gonna be a bed of roses. That's all you got to do is come to Jesus. Come to Jesus. And he gonna make everything. He may not make everything all right. He may make it get a little worse before it get a little better. But he gonna fix it before you leave here though. And while you're going through it, he gonna be there with you in the fire. But come to Jesus. And your wife gonna be the most loving wife in the world. She may turn into the most evil woman in the world. But what that got to do with Calvary? Nothing. You may come to Jesus and get laid off tomorrow. But what that got to do with Calvary? Nothing. You may come to Jesus and your children may go AWOL. But what they got to do with Calvary? Nothing. In the world, you're going to have a little tribulation. Every now and then you're going to go through. But the storms don't come to kill you. They come to teach you to lean on God and to make you stronger. Each storm you survive, you get stronger and stronger. Paul was teaching that gospel. They tried to stone him to death, but he got word, him and Barnabas, that they was going to try to stone him after the service. So what he did, him and Barnabas, they fled to another city and began to preach the gospel of Jesus and saw a man there in that city where they fled who had never walked from the time he was born. And Paul looked at the man and could tell that the man wanted to be healed. And Paul looked at the man and told the man, he shouted to the man, stand up on your feet. And the Bible says the man leaped on his feet. And Paul performed a miracle in that city while he was fleeing from them unbelieving Jews. But how many of you know the devil don't give up so easy? Look to your neighbor and say, why do we? If the devil don't give, them unbelieving Jews follow Paul to that city, him and Barnabas, and guess what they did? Right after Paul performed that miracle, they stoned him almost to death. After he had just performed a miracle, they stoned him. You will figure if Pastor heals somebody doing service, hey, everybody gonna line up for healing. No, they said we're gonna catch him when he get in the parking lot. Paul didn't say because they almost stoned me to death, I'm not going to preach the gospel no more. Them Jews chased Paul to another city and stoned him to the point that he was almost dead. The disciples had to get around him and pray for him, and he revived. And guess what Paul did when he revived? He went back to the city from whence he fled to witness to those people in that town. Now look at me. If Pastor Joseph get off that corner and I escape that corner, if I come back, I'm coming back with the popo. Or I ain't going back on that corner. I ain't made it to that level yet, like Paul. I'm trying. Look to them and say, trying to get there.
Trying to get there.
Or I may come back with my boys. Or I may come back with that thing. Oh, y'all act like y'all wouldn't go get that thing. You You go get that thing. Don't sit act like you ain't all that holy. I don't see you every Sunday. You going back with that thing. And then you gonna call me from jail to pray for you. Don't go back with that thing. Go back with them angels. Go back with that Holy Ghost. That's what Paul did. And then when he got back to the place from where he had escaped, he started preaching again and told the Jews there, through many tribulations, we must enter the kingdom of God. Now that's the gospel. Don't you think you're going to get to heaven without a little friction, without a little fuss, without a little fight, without a little pressure from the world, without a little pressure from your loved ones, without a little pressure on the job, without a little stress in the hood? Through many tribulations, he said we're going to enter the kingdom of God. But this feel-good gospel, this dangerous gospel that's going around, is the gospel preached and taught to people that your salvation will be a bed of roses. Just come to Jesus. A delightful journey flowing with peace and no despair. God is going to bless you. God is going to heal you. I'm going to send you a miracle rag. Just send in $20. I'm going to keep the rag and blow my nose and I ain't going to send no $20. Thank you for the handkerchief. God is going to heal you. God is going to deliver you. God is going to make everything all right. God going to do everything and aid you while you don't do nothing. That ain't the right gospel. You're going to have to do something. Faith without works is what? Dead. Faith without works, God going to help you get your situation and your house in order. You're going to have to do some work. Take up your cross daily, Jesus said, and follow me. With Christ comes a cross, a personal cross, designed for each believer. Just because one experiences hardship does not always mean that the devil trying to get you. It could be because you're doing everything right. And God is trying to bring you to the next level. You ever thought about that? How many of you ever watched a boxing ring match? Yeah, to be the champ of the world, you got to fight everybody. You can just fight, you can't fight all the men that's blind and crippled in the wheelchair. Talk about you the king of the champ of the world, you fight everybody in wheelchairs. Everybody bipolar, everybody blind. I'm talking about you the champ. You got to fight the best of the best to be the champ. Well, you ain't going to get to heaven and earn your wings without going through nothing down here on earth, trials and tribulations. Amen. The champ of the world. You fighting them with the handicaps. In other words, you want to be a saint in the army of the Lord, but you want to take all the easy shortcuts. You don't want to go through nothing. You don't like when a little trouble arises. Sometimes persecution comes because we doing everything right. Jesus, how do I know? How do I know? How do I know? Jesus was perfect. He fed people when they was hungry. He walked on the water. He calmed the storm. He healed a woman that was hemorrhaging. He raised a woman's son at a funeral. He raised Lazarus from the dead. He forgave a prostitute. And they nailed him to a rugged cross. He was a perfect man. Look how he died. And he was a perfect man. He was our example. Living for Jesus sometimes causes strife in one life. It does not mean God is out to get you. When you live for Jesus, sometimes it causes a little friction in your life. Because God wants to see, can they stay focused on me if I let a little trouble or tribulation arise in their life? And I don't care how bad the storm is, it only lasts a few minutes. Amen? Let's look at Acts chapter 14 quickly. Because I already gave the scripture last week. I don't really like rereading scriptures, but I want to reread them quickly. Show you that they were preaching, and these Jews caused a lot of confusion in the church and in the city. It got to the point where Paul had to flee him and Barnabas because they caused a big uproar in that town. And Paul went back where he began his ministry. When you finally say, bless his name. Acts chapter 14, verse 1, it says, and it came to pass in Iconium that they went both together to the synagogue of the Jews, and so spake that great multitude both of Jews and also of Greeks believed. Listen, some Jews believe and some Greeks, but they had some unbelieving Jews. Verse 2, But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against the brother. You got to be careful when you're trying to go to church, do the right thing, and you hang around people that sinners. They have a way of twisting your mind and making you think God is bad and not God is good. They stirred the people up. Verse 4, but the multitude of the city was divided, and part held with the Jews and part held with the apostles. And there was an assault made, both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews, with the rulers to use them despitefully to stone them. Look at verse 7. They was going to stone Paul and Barnabas. And there they preached the gospel, and there was a certain man. Wait a minute. Let me go to verse 8. Verse 8. They was going to stone Paul and Barnabas, but they escaped. Look at verse 7, 8, 9, and 10. And there they preached the gospel, and a certain man of Lystra, impotent on his feet, became crippled from his mother's womb, and had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, stand up on your feet. And he leaped and walked. Now, at this point, Paul and them had fled the plot. They heard that what these Jews was trying to do, so they escaped from there. And they went to another city and started preaching. Because they were going to stone them in that synagogue where they was preaching at first. Because the Jews stirred up the people. So what Paul and Barnabas did, they got away from him and started preaching in another city. And so they healed the man. And after they healed this man, them Jews found out where they were and went over there and stoned him. And after they stoned Paul and he revived, he went back to the city from when he first escaped to preach the gospel. Look at verse 19, because I'm fast forwarding. Here come them Jews, look to them and say, here they come. You got some people finna come in your life that you're trying to do right now. Here they come. Here they come. They coming, and they coming to test you. God gonna let them get near you. God ain't gonna hide you from them. God ain't gonna protect you. He want to see what you're gonna do under pressure. I want to see what you're gonna do under pressure. I want to know whose side you on. Verse 19. And there came to the certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, who persuaded the people, having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead. Howbeit, as his disciples stood round about him, he rose up and came into the city, and the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe. Look at verse 21. And when they had preached the gospel to that city and taught many, they returned again to Lystra. See, I wouldn't have went back. I'm just keeping it real. I said, they don't want me on that corner. I preach in my church. I'm encouraging us all to go to the next level. Look at verse 20. Verse 21. And when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and Iconium and to Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. Paul said, if they stone me and I'm still here to teach y'all the word of God, whenever you go through your little tribulation, trial, or test from God, keep on living for Christ. Don't give in under pressure, because you're not going to enter into the kingdom of God without going through something. Let me give you some greater news than that. Even if you say, I don't want to be a part of the church, I don't want to be saved, I don't want to live for Jesus, I just want to do me. You still can do you. You still gonna have trouble. So it ain't God ain't the one causing the trouble. It's because you're in this troubled world. So anyway it goes, you're gonna have trouble. You might as well go through it with God. You're gonna have trouble regardless. If you don't believe you have no trouble, take them burglar bars off your house and them alone. Take that insurance off that car. Take them locks off them rims. Since you think you ain't got no trouble. You ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Just take that stuff off. And see what happens. That's right. You're going to be wounded. The devil ain't prejudiced. Look to the neighbor and say, the devil ain't prejudiced. He want them all. He want God's children and his own children. That's a greedy devil. As long as you got a soul, he wants you. He can't get you here getting the animals. Yeah, if he can't, if you won't convert, he'll try to get you in the dog. Watch your dog when you go home. Watch your bird when you go home. Watch your cat when you go home. I know somebody say, he ain't gonna get no dog. He got them pigs. If he got them pigs, why he won't get in that dog? Why he won't get in that parrot? I used to work at a chemical plant. The bird used to chase me every morning. I said, security guard. I said, the bird ever chased you? He said, man, what bird? I said, I know what I got to do. I'm going to bring my gun and my all. If I can't anoint him, I'll shoot him. I said, that's a devil bird. He only mess with me. I asked my friend out to kill him. I said, man, that bird chased you in the morning, that mockingbird. He said, what bird? Bird chased me every morning. And one time I didn't tell nobody. I brought my little old pistol with me. I don't supposed to have no gun. That bird was coming long. I was ducking. Now, you think I'm joking. When I had that gun in my pocket, he wouldn't come after me. I leave that gun in the car, he goes. I said, that bird know I got something in my pocket. Y'all laughing. Same thing, dogs used to chase me down the street. I used to ride my bike down 3rd Street, dogs chase me. I said, I got me some rocks in my pocket. They said, you come on, wait, get it. He wouldn't even come out. Y'all keep on believing that devil don't get them animals. Y'all see them show animals gone wild. Them animals ain't just gone. He only attacked the owners. If he gone wild, bite everybody. He don't bite everybody. He just bite the master. He want that master. Y'all gonna get it after a while. Now I want to show you the dangerous gospel. What is the dangerous gospel? The gospel that teaches you don't have to go through nothing. The gospel that they teach you to make you feel good. You can't shout every Sunday. Some Sundays you need to cry so you can release all that stuff. Look to your neighbor and say, you finna close, you finna close. I want to show you the dangerous gospel that Paul was teaching about. Now that was one story about Paul and Barnabas. Paul had got the Galatian people saved. Then he went away for a little while. Yo, went away for a little while, left the kids at home. And y'all said, we're going to be gone now. Y'all be good. And they said, yes, ma'am. As soon as you get off that driveway. Soon as you get down the street. Paul came back to check on these Jews, and they had already ventured away from the gospel. He said, how can you soon be so shaken so soon to follow another gospel? Who be with you? And he told them, though we or angel come from heaven and teach you any other gospel, let that person be accursed. So that means there's some other gospels going around. There's some gospels going around telling you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. He don't care when you do it, how you do it, when you do it. Don't you believe that, preacher? God do care how you do it, when you do it. When you do it, when you do it, when you want to do it. Yes, he do care. That's why he tell you when to worship, how to worship, what to worship, who to worship, who to bow down to, who not to bow down to. Yes, God do care. You can't do what you want to do, think you're going to still go. You got to do it a certain way. Be ye holy as your Father is holy. Galatians chapter 1. Look to your neighbor and say, he finna close. See, because that's part 2. This part 2. See? Part 2 ain't long as part 1. But I'm going to show you the word. Don't let anybody teach you. Tell you what you want here just to get your money. I tell them all the time, the sheep supposed to eat before the shepherd. The sheep, and I know when you go to function, they give the pastor a plate first.
Yes.
The pastor supposed to be observant. Jesus said, he that is great among you will be your what? Servant. He supposed to be fixing the plates, helping everybody and get his plate last. Huh? If the shepherd fat and the sheepskin, they run. Now, I was fat when I joined. That's why that don't apply to me. We ain't good growing up. Galatians chapter 1, look at verse 6. Galatians chapter 1, look at verse 6. When you find, say, bless his name. Bless his name. He say, I marvel, that means I wonder, that ye are so soon removed from him that calleth you into the grace of Christ to another what? Gospel. I ain't making this up. What another gospel? Paul said, y'all to move to another gospel? Jesus has showed y'all some grace and some mercy, and you already following other messages? Well, you see it, don't you? Amen. Look what he say. Which is not another, is really not another. They making up stuff, he's saying. Amen. But there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of who? Ain't but one gospel, but y'all move to another gospel? Who told y'all can do this in the church? Who told y'all can have this service? Who told y'all to use the church for this? You've been in churches, beauty pageants. Amen. In the Lord's house. Oh, y'all better look at me now. Concerts. It's all right to do a concert if it's a Christian concert, but you ain't charging. You done bought a ticket. Who been with you? Who told you had to pay for the gospel? Well, I come from the gospel free. But you done bought your tickets to go to the gospel in the house of God, to the gospel concert. Putting on plays and all that kind of stuff and charging for. Put on the play, Christian play, but let it be free. Don't charge. But look at verse 8. Look what he say. But though we or angel from heaven preach any other what? Gospel unto you than that we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Be careful who you let preach to you, teach you. There you go right there. Paul said y'all move to another gospel, which is really not another gospel. They're just making up stuff. Doing everything to make the people come in. I used to go to a church. They didn't have, on Halloween, they didn't have Halloween night. They had Hallelujah night. But outside, not inside, outside. And the little kids came dressed like Spider-Man and Superman. Ain't nothing wrong with that to me. But don't twist it and don't say nobody gonna get saved on Hallelujah night. Them kids come for the candy and the hot dogs. Just say we having a little picnic outside. Don't try, that's not the gospel. Because Pastor gonna ride for a Chevy truck next weekend. All the men gonna show up to get that new truck. When I talk about Jesus, he died. You ain't gonna man when he gonna ride for the truck. Man. Y'all be careful. It may look like they glamorous, but if they ain't talking about, listen, I ain't got no prayer breakfast. If y'all cook some biscuits, I'm gonna give me one. I ain't gonna be preaching either. I don't want to talk about Jesus when I'm eating. Trying to get people into heaven using bacon and eggs. That's another gospel. Orange juice and refreshments before service. When you run out of orange juice, you're gonna run out of folks. I got to preach Jesus and that's it. Anything extra y'all want to bless the people with, that's fine. Do that on your own, but I'm preaching Jesus. I ain't using no cross, mixing it with a croissant. Come get your croissant and your cross. No. I'm taking the long route, but this is the right route. You see it right there. Let that person be accursed. Them dangerous gospels. It's that gospel that is preached and taught that your salvation will be a bed of roses. A delightful little journey. Just come to Jesus. Come as you are. And when you come and you be baptized and you get filled with the Holy Ghost, all hell may break loose in your personal life. Don't mean that God don't love you. He just finna test you. Some people God tests early, some people test later. But you will be tested. You can't avoid the test. Because God want to make sure you his child and you his son. Amen? Amen. Give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Maybe somebody here today, you may not know Jesus.